Dear friends, we propose to your attention our report on the research or methods of analytical processing of digital data in educational management. The very gist of our research is about the newest technologies and approaches for the better and more qualitative management of educational process at all. And as we can see in other industries, the very important topic is namely topic of analytical analysis of the accumulated data flows that will allow us to discover significant patterns, and this will be the very formal grounds for intellectual analysis of large amounts of data. And the fact is that we have a lot of such data in educational space, and we propose using such methods as association, clustering, classification, categorization, correlation, evaluation, forecasting, and finally all this will be will give a quality of predictive analytics with purpose to improve the quality of educational process at all, and this quality will be achieved by providing an objective consolidated information and in the making managed decision support for educational institution management. So the problem is that as of today we have a lot of data, but we have no clear strategies how these decisions can be made and how to make them most efficient way with most prominent results. For this for solution of as a proposed solution of these problems, we develop methods of analytical processing of data flows that we can discover in educational management systems, and the strong side of the problem is that we have very prosperous and developed educational management system at every level of educational institution, and all these strategies do implementation of automated information workflow, and they include such components like electronic learning tools. Electronic means for providing access to educational content, and the use of many other information technologies, and of course of different full-fledged services. These services is well defined and based on documents level, and they can do focusation on all issues of general trend of analytical approaches to educational data. And we finally the main purpose of this strategy is identifying and forecasting of new knowledges, discover knowledges from educational data. That is the main things about our research is namely discovering of new knowledges from existing data. The very idea of this is well known, but in educational area it's new problem formulation, and every solution based on such knowledges. Such knowledge would be perfect match to the general strategy of newest trends in in education, and in the general strategy of web of knowledge, of semantic web, and so on. For achieving this purpose, we use some proposed research methods. That is a method of system analysis to form conceptual model. A method of analytical data processing, that is a main method, and it stipulates namely to decision making and in management routines. And we use some methods of artificial intelligence, namely to identify patterns in the data, and we propose that such data it can be identified as classified data, catalog, and one of the crucial methods is a method of object-oriented analysis and design. The purpose of this application is to determine the semantic relation between data sources. That means that in our research we follow the classical formulation, like data source, data grid, data source, data set, data grid. That is a three-level triple construction. As I was mentioning before, the main result of every effective analytical analysis is a management decision support in education management. This decision, of course, this decision is based on students, and the purpose is to predict their performance according to the accessible educational data. To discover hidden knowledge, we use the stage of identifying, effectively analyzing, and interpreting of important patterns of data sets. Goals of research is we can put it two directions. So first one is based on the data from automated and managing system of higher education, and in this way we try to build and some prognostic model, and we define all stakeholders' position, that all the participants of who participates in educational process. And second is a verification of the effectiveness of the proposed models, and we can test derived model on the dynamically accumulated data, and providing all the needed educational data. So we singled out two main research objectives. The first one is the development of, namely, decision-making strategy. That is a very important thing. And the second is effective analytical analysis of educational data for providing the very grounds for stable grounds for analytics itself. So we aggregated all accessible programs that we use, and this picture presents us the singled-out stages of predictive analytical data processing in education setting. So these stages have a main goal to provide adequate management of decision making. So the question is not only decision making, but managing of such process in all of its dynamics. So of course we cannot do any effective analytical activities without classifying of all possible educational activities in management system of the higher education environment, namely the university. So this diagram is as a main point is in center is the educational management system, yes, and it includes all activities that contributes to the this managing system. Yes, and we have here in students and administration of administration at the level of the system, and administrating position at the level of educational institution, and all this together will give us namely research implementation. So what is the main points of proposed our proposal for implementation? Yes, that is first one is improved student learning. It's very important problem that we can have some predictions, some forecasting of how is the level of student performance, and how can it be optimized, and to find a better ways of for student performance. Second is optimize the use of resources. Of course, as any other system, educational system uses a lot of resources, and we need to any kind of optimization would contribute to the general solution. Yeah? And as far as for the student learning optimization, we need to identify relevant topics that purposes that there should be not any kind of duplication. All these allow us to the need to emphasize on outputs and inputs and find some correlations, because all this educational data need to be classified in the input set and output set. And if we find the right correlation, between them, then we can improve academic performance, improve effectiveness of education, and all this can be implemented in adjusting curriculum, exam papers, and finally contribute to the general proficiency of learning. So to conclude our short report, we need to say that we identified the weakness of existed monitoring and control system in education, and contributed to the task of building recommendation system, recommendation strategy for identifying of poorly prepared students and to provide them some academic assistance, and all this with assured confidence of the consolidated educational data with trends of optimization and selecting of better strategy for learning and educational efficiency of the system at all. So that is all our main ideas of this report. So thank you for your attention.